Third in the series, we're here with the mind behind capital wealth planning, Kevin Simpson, who's talking about discipline. How much discipline? What kind?
I think the ultimate test of portfolio management is to make sure that you're disciplined in every aspect of what you do. Discipline, measurable, repeatable. These are things that we feel are incredibly important at capital wealth planning because it provides consistency and I think a great expectation for our clients. What we did yesterday, past performance, Lou, is no guarantee of future results. So the only thing we can do is provide a process and a proven process for what we hope to achieve in the future.
Well, it's a truism that rules are meant to be violated. Are they?
Not in investments. Maybe when I was growing up as a teenager, I would use that argument pretty much on a daily basis. But when it comes to investments and when it comes to serious money, we can't violate our rules under any circumstance.
Give me an example.
Well, I think the best way to talk about it is really our sell discipline. You know, portfolio managers hate the discussion of selling a stock. And you, as a retail investor, probably do also. You know, it's easy to buy something. It's super fun. Let's go buy a stock. Selling a stock is really hard. Because not only do you have to make a decision to sell something, then you're second guessing that decision after the fact. And you have the whole second follow-up to that is, what are we going to replace it with? And then how did the new stock compare to the old stock? So I think for us, it's the sell disciplines that are the most important thing, and they can't be violated. And there's 4 reasons we would sell a stock. First, we may love a company, massively strong conviction. If we own it, we want to have 5% in that maximum massively strong conviction. And as a stock appreciates over time, if it gets to a 7 or 8% weighting, a 7 or 8% allocation, we'll proactively trim it back. It's an old-fashioned rebalancing technique. It's worked forever and it ain't broke. Stock gets up to 7 or 8%, we sell a portion of it to bring it back to 5. Secondly, if a company cuts a dividend, we want to own companies that are paying dividends. That's why we own them. And if they're not paying a dividend, we're not going to own them. If they cut a dividend, there's something behind the scenes that don't can necessarily make it a candidate for us. The third reason we would sell a stock is somewhat unique to our strategy. We're going to get into that in the next segment, but by writing covered calls, we're contractually obligated to sell a stock at a predetermined price. Now, in our case, that's usually a price higher than when we sold it, so we typically can chalk that up as a win. Conversely, if we have a stock that's underperforming its peer group, if we have a stock that's down 15 to 20% versus its peers or its competitors, we acknowledge that as a stock-specific problem. We can own a stock and it can go down 15 or 20%. That's not a reason to sell it. We might not be dancing in the aisles, but it's not necessarily a reason to remove a stock from our portfolio. But if they're down 15 or 20% versus their peers, something's wrong. So we'll remove the stock from our portfolio. The hope and intent there is 15 or 20% underperformance is something we can get past as a portfolio manager. What we don't want to be doing is holding the bag when that stock keeps going down and down and down. And it becomes an ego thing. You know, we picked that stock, how could we be wrong? Well, things change in life and you're not always right. So if you can keep the losses small, you can have great returns for clients. It's really hard to not be emotional, especially when it comes to investing in money. What we do at Capital Wealth Planning is we try to remove the emotions from the investment decisions.